It's that soundtrack. That Carolina soundtrack, featuring some of the best live and studio musicians in the state of South Carolina. And now here are your hosts, Lee Archer, Heather Rogers, and Sean Dolby.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the debut of that Carolina soundtrack. Still a classic rock show, but we basically grew it up a little bit. We had to grow up. Yeah, picture that. But anyway, we're here, and it's a new year, so Happy New Year to everybody. Now let's get into music. That's what we do around here. Heather, introduce our guest, please.
We are here with two of the members of Private Compliment, and I thought it was a different band. I'm so sorry, Cory. I'm like I fucked up really bad. But this is Private Compliment. I know that we have Aaron and we have Steven, and if you guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us what you do for the band.
I'm Aaron. I do vocals and guitar.
I'm Steven. I do backup vocals and bass guitar.
And my understanding is that you guys are it's all punk. We want to include all the subgenres of punk.
Essentially, yeah.
Because it could be ska, it could be a little bit of reggae. You said
a little bit of oi, some hardcore.
Who knows? Next year it could be country. And
you're gonna go country next year.
You never know. Are we going folk? Are we going folk now? Oh God.
You know, one thing I've always, me personally, when it comes to punk, because I'm the oldest of the team here, the punk I grew up was the Johnny Rotten and Sex Pistols and, the Clash in the Clash's early years. The punk that kind of slowly became classic rock.
Yeah.
But my favorite punk was, strangely enough, the Police, when the Police were doing punk.
Oh, yeah.
And all of their stuff was basically ska.
Yeah.
Everything Stuart Copeland played was ska.
Yeah.
It had that reggae backbeat to it. So you guys do a little combination of everything like that.
Yeah, we do. It started off pretty much kind of more like Ramones style. Like, we were heavily influenced by the album Too Tough to Die, because the whole album, it has more of pop punk kind of vibe.
I remember that
rock and roll.
Nothing was over 2 minutes.
Hardcore, yeah. It has all the styles. So that's kind of like what our vibe was starting out. We just kind of just do whatever we want.
And it's all originals?
All originals.
Oh, yeah.
And Aaron, you primarily write?
Yeah, I write a good bit. He's write a few songs with me. But yeah, for the most part, it's mostly me.
What's it like collaborating on and doing it together? What is that? How's that?
It is a very interesting process, I will say
I
that.
imagine.
Yeah. I'd like to know that, because collaborating on writing punk just seems a little unorthodox to me. You're not like Lennon and McCartney,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So pretty much when we do collab on a song, especially our latest stuff, I'll kind of write the backbone of the song, and I'll be like, hey, I want you to do your part, do whatever you want, write whatever you want, and just we kind of collab like that.
Yeah, we just kind of
Crank it out.
Just set parts, and then it's just like, hey, feel free to add yours. I mean, me personally, I try to go along with whatever's going on in the song at the time. For example, like our song "No Place Here," which, by the way, just released Friday, along with our other 3-song EP. The first part is how we need to all stay united and be together as one, especially in these hard times.
And keeping hate out of the scene.
Yeah, and keep hate out of the scene. And then I come in talking about all the people that are hating, just, fuck you, get the fuck out of here. Aryan pieces of shit. Fuck all of y'all,
Yeah.
So that kind of incorporates the original mindset of punk, which was fuck the establishment, fight the anarchy. Y'all still. I don't know for a fact, but does the newer punk acts, like the skateboarder punk, does it still incorporate that feeling?
Yeah, we a lot of our songs kind of have a skate punk vibe. It's really fast, but yeah, I write whatever I'm feeling at the time. It could be having a really bad day, people frustrating me. Some songs are political. Some songs are about fighting depression, because we've all had dark places. It depends on what I'm feeling at the time.
Who's your vocal, I always ask people this that are singers, do you have somebody that's your vocal inspiration that you
I wouldn't say inspiration. I just
Like hero, I guess. You just do it. Okay.
I mean, I love Joey Ramone.
Yeah.
I don't sound nothing like Joey Ramone, but
Well, that's okay.
Joey Ramone don't sound like Joey Ramone.
Funny enough for me, my vocals, I got inspired by Jeff Clayton from Annie Scene.
Oh, okay.
The local heroes up in North Carolina. And a combination of a smaller known band called Warfare Check. That was in Columbia, South Carolina. They're not together anymore, but you can still find their stuff.
I've heard of Warfare Check,
Yeah, they're
for
pretty good.
sure.
Now, what part of South Carolina are you guys based in?
we're from Columbia.
Columbia.
Yeah.
Columbia.
The heart of it.
And when did y'all get together? How long have you been? It's been about a year, you said, right?
About since September 2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so over a year. Okay. And then I know that you said there's an entire story about how the name Private Compliment came to be.
Yeah, so I was in a band called Public Insult back in
What a-
2000.
Still
What
a
a
really cool
contrast.
name.
Yeah, so that was a little more aggressive in its tone. It was more in your face. This time I wanted to kind of do something different. And we still play that hardcore stuff in there. We actually play one of our songs, No Hope, is actually from Public Insult. We could try to keep that alive. But yeah, it was long story. One of my best friends is actually one of our songs we wrote about it's called Clark. This guy right here, Eric Ellisor, that was his nickname. I played music with him all my life, and yeah, so he always used to joke we should just call it Private Compliment. And
instead of Public Insult.
yeah. So it's kind of a throwback to him.
Kind of paying homage a little bit.
Yeah. That's really the whole story about it. And then we were trying to figure out a name of it, and it kind of dawned on me. I was like, why don't we call it that? It'd be kind of a cool homage to him. And then we wrote a song about him, and it kind of feels like he's still there in spirit.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Public
That's really
Insult.
sweet.
That's it. Those are two. That's two hell of a names. How come I can't think of names like that, man?
I was like 16 when I made that name, so I don't know. It just came to me.
Well, you
one
know,
day.
a 16-year-old thinks differently.
Yeah, for sure.
Thinks very differently.
Very much so.
And so, I know you guys. I talked to Cory. You guys have been playing. You've played Art Bar. You're playing some local Columbia stuff. You've played here.
Yeah,
right?
we played a show with Negative Approach at New Brooklyn Tavern last July.
Okay.
Yeah, that
We
was
opened for
insane.
them. That was one of our funnest shows I've ever
You
played.
want to talk about throwing back to like classic like punk days? Like it felt like you were back in the '80s, stage diving everywhere, a pit
wow.
here, a pit there. Like everyone was just going crazy.
Yeah, people jumping on stage trying to sing our lyrics. With
I would have been so sore after
That's
all that.
cool.
I'm too old
You
for
know,
that shit.
What's crazy? One thing that I realized, I'm not cut out for the punk crowd.
Oh yeah.
And I realized that when I was in Atlanta and I was doing production work with Lil Jon.
Yeah.
And that was during the era when everybody was throwing them bows.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
Ludacris
They still do it.
and I got
Fucking
hit.
hurts.
I got uppercut. Oh my God! I think I lifted up off the ground at least by 3 feet.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'm not cut out for this shit.
You're usually pretty safe as long as you stay on the outside, but you get in there, it's all game. For
No,
them.
they swarm me around like a washing
They were
machine. I'm in the middle.
Yeah, the circle pits. Yeah, those get all crazy sometimes.
And
Oh, it's even worse when you got beer that spills on the floor.
That's
It's
the
just
whole
like a
part.
slip and slide everywhere.
I've been
It's
to
crazy.
I
I've
went to
actually
the old New Brooklyn Tavern before because that was the
Oh, yeah.
one that they
Oh,
they
I
they
played
had to
there
rest in
several
peace to the old
Yeah, rest in
location.
peace.
Oh, speaking of rest in peace, I meant to do this when we on the opening. To me, the Grateful Dead is officially dead now.
Oh, Bob Ware.
To me,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
well, I thought when Jerry Garcia died, that was gonna. No, it's so. Grateful Dead fans, I'm tipping my hat to you because got to keep that sound alive. Bands like the Grateful Dead, like those jam bands, you got to love them.
Fish and Grateful Dead and Widespread.
Yeah,
I've seen Widespread. Yeah, I saw them in high school, like in the 90s. With
It's a-
Joan Osborne and Jump Little Children of all,
oh, yeah.
all groups.
So
That was an interesting combination.
what's new with the band? Is it new creations as far as studio projects or just new material for live?
Well, yeah. So a lot of our songs all the songs on our last EP, we've been playing for probably about the last 6 months live.
Okay.
So we're kind of crazy. Usually, I'm not trying to set a bar, but usually every show we play, we have a new song. We
That's
crank
a
it out.
good concept.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I always like to keep it fresh, something new and exciting. A lot of the times it sounds completely different. Like our last EP was just solid hardcore punk. This one's kind of got a little mashup of everything we've done before. Like it'll have more of a melodic vibe to it, but then there'll be parts that are like hardcore influence. Like he comes in and does his awesome vocals. And then we'll throw in some ska stuff in there, and just kind of we're trying to like just make, take a little bit of everything we've done and put it together in one thing.
That's cool.
So who knows what happens next? We also got a couple new songs that no one has heard yet. So if you come to our shows, be looking out for that.
And so, how many EPs do you have out now?
We have 2. We have Private Army, and we have No Place Here, which is our newest one. Then we had like pretty much, I would say it's not really a full length album. We had about 7 songs.
I thought it was 8.
I can't remember.
It's,
but it was
8 songs.
It was called Stay Punk, Stay Free, and that was more of our kind of pop punk inspired one. So.
And those are all streaming everywhere you can get them.
Everywhere. Spotify,
We do
YouTube,
have physical media, but we usually make it DIY, so it's kind of limited. We don't sell them online, so if you want our merch, you got to come see us in person.
But I'm pretty sure our next show is what, Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Asheville.
End of February. I don't remember the date offhand.
Yeah, that's a
20th?
Oh yeah,
20th of
February 20th.
February 20th?
At the 27 Club in Asheville.
Yep.
There we
What
go.
was the one
That's
show?
gonna be a show.
What was the one show that you felt you bombed?
Oh, no.
Like in a bad way.
Oh
Yes.
man.
What was the one show?
Ooh.
Because I know punk can go get.
What a question.
Punk can go one way or the other depending
I
on the
feel like-
venue that you're at.
I feel like there's different answers to this depending on which member you ask. Me personally, running off of just 3 hours of sleep the night prior, working a full 8-hour shift, and then having to go to Art Bar to play, I was on fumes and I was messing up everything. It felt like, and to me,
Yeah, I would probably say it was a great. I consider every show a great show.
Oh,
But
yeah.
there's times where we'll make mistakes, and you just got to keep going. I would probably say the same show. I made quite a few mistakes. I forgot lyrics, and I kind of bombed the whole song.
No, you
but-
didn't forget lyrics. You just didn't remember which one it was.
Yeah. But yeah, it happens.
But at least with originals, it's
Yeah.
not like they know that
Right.
you're doing it. So, because like if
Yeah.
you're playing a Journey song and everybody knows all the words and
Yeah,
you don't
that's
do
true.
it right,
That's the problem with cover bands.
oh
Just
yeah,
cover
Yeah,
bands.
tell me about it.
So if you don't know the damn song that everybody else does, they look at you weird.
yeah,
Or if you don't sound like the record,
yeah.
which a lot of bands try to sound like the record.
Yeah.
Tell me about the one venue that you probably should have never done, that it just didn't fit. Well, it didn't hit you until you got there.
Didn't fit your
And
vibe,
you
like
said,
not.
Yeah, and you're like,
Ooh.
why the fuck did we book this show?
I'll let you answer that. I don't really have an answer for it.
So, for us, or for me at least, although the venue is great, I absolutely love it and I recommend it. We went to Winston-Salem, North Carolina,
Yeah.
at the Den, and dude, it was just like, oh man, there was like 2-3 people there
Yeah, it was
for the
amazing.
whole show.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Great show. Everyone still performed their heart out, and it was fantastic. Hell, I think that was probably the best we sounded up to that point.
Maybe.
Yeah, but well, besides New Brooklyn.
Yeah,
but,
I like that one. That was my favorite.
No, it definitely was not what we expected. It was just like, damn, we came all the way.
How is the new Brooklyn? I don't want to say.
It's-
How's the new location?
Do you like
Is
stairs?
it as cool as?
It's way bigger.
Yeah,
way
it is-
bigger.
It's way bigger.
yeah.
But I just hate gravity. Hates me, and I hate gravity.
I understand that.
Yeah, the
I'm
stair-
only.
the stairs are always a problem. It feels.
It's
Yeah.
fun though. It's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
place. There's usually a lot of people there. So
Yeah. Awesome.
definitely.
What's the best way to promote a punk show?
Flyers, Instagram, social media?
Because I know you got others-
Your community,
you target,
right?
You target
Like,
Yeah,
certain
no, definitely. Community.
certain areas. Like, say, for example, college. When you did college, I know back in the day we just was on the corner just throwing out flyers to anybody
Yeah.
who walked by.
And
We've done that too.
Do you
Yeah,
particularly just target your fan base?
Well, a lot of it is just already a community that's established. It's a lot of, underground music.
Especially in Columbia.
In Columbia, yeah. We've put in physical flyers out in 5 Points.
What do you think makes Columbia so much more progressive than Charleston?
I think it's because everyone kind of knows everybody in a sense. Like you'll see like a lot of people or the same people go to shows and things like that. But then again, you also have a lot of these younger bands that are starting out. Shout out to Lab Disaster, for example. I remember when they played their first show, they brought a whole bunch of people from their high schools, and just word of mouth got around about the underground scene there, and it just started to kind of blow up really big after that.
Now, you said that they brought people from their high school.
It's a mix. It really is a mix.
High school, early college, right?
High
school, early
old
college.
People, we have young people. I don't even really sure. It's just kind of a community.
I'm surprised that high school age demo likes punk.
Oh, you'll be surprised.
It just seemed like such an 80s thing, early 90s thing.
Well, that's where I started out, was in high school too. So.
Well, if you look back at it, punk has always been a young thing, if you think about it.
That is true.
It's a revolution situation, yeah.
People want to get out there, spread their opinions, tell people what they feel, or just either have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Punk has always had a tendency to scare a lot of people from other music industries. I mean, other music genres. Because of the drug use and the violence in the show. A lot of people don't understand the slamming and the mosh pits. They don't understand it.
Yeah.
It looks too violent. Like, it has such a negative overtone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that overtone still there, or has the time kind of caught up with it and it's calmed down a little bit?
Well, around here, if you fall down, we pick you up. Like, it's more of like, you're getting your frustrations out. The music kind of just takes you, and you just kind of move with it. It's kind of like any other type of music. It's just this way. It's a little more faster, aggressive, so the dancing is going to match.
So there's no twerking?
No. I mean, there can be if you want to.
Yeah, if you want to get out there and twerk, it's whatever. Go ahead.
It's crazy because I've seen metal shows that actually had strippers.
Yeah, and Sean, like, thinking about other bands, like, like Dog Bite, like Charlie and all of them, like, those are folks that are my age.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Chris. We're all still in shock over that. But those guys are our age, and or my age at least. Charlie's close to an age to me. Chris was too. I'm 48, and I still can see the value in going against the system. But I do think it starts with the young people though, and then they invigorate us to follow their lead. I mean, that's just my opinion, because my kids do it for me all the time, where they're like, "Hey, Mom." Da-da-da, and I'm like, yeah, fuck the system. Let's go.
I definitely agree with you, because the younger generation develops their political sins and their moral sins when they're about 15.
Yeah.
They wait till that. I think 15 is old enough for you to understand what's happening in the world.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So and that's what you grow up with. Mm-hmm. Now, unless you get, like we were talking about, who were we talking about? Got the money and changed their. Started going real political to the right. They started going.
Oh,
real
Johnny
right.
Rotten. You were talking about kind of starting.
Now,
to go
unless
that
you
way.
get your hands on a piece of money, money can dictate your viewpoints.
Yeah, that's why we try not to let money influence us. We just released our whole library on Bandcamp for free to download. We have donations if you want to help us out, but we're in it for fun. We're in it to say what we got to say. I mean, I don't really care for money. It's great if it comes, but I mean, I'm not in it for that. So I think money ruins a lot of things.
Well, unfortunately, once you get
Keep
to
it
be
pure.
Once you get to be my age, you can't. The fun, you fall out of love with the fun, and you fall in love with the fact you got to pay the bills.
Yeah, I pay my bills. I have a full-time job. This is so.
Okay, now see, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. This is not a lazy man. He's got a full-time job.
I work real hard.
I was about to say we all have full-time jobs.
Yeah. You have to. Sometimes you got to have two.
This band feels like a full-time job sometimes too.
It does. It really does at times.
Yeah.
But it's always been good.
But yeah, we do it for the love of it.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the debut of that Carolina soundtrack, and our first band is with us tonight. Stick around. We've got a whole lot more. Matter of fact, Archer's, he's still with the show. We didn't get rid of him. He's still with the show. He's going to come up and hang out with us for a second. We're going to be talking music, more punk stuff.
Now, when it comes to music, this is how the Carolinas do it.
One, two, three, four.
When you think about tomorrow and what it will bring, peace or annihilation, order and tragedy, today they can take it all away. Peace or your life, freedom resides in your mind. Arise, turn blind. They are wanting you to pay for their tyranny. They are wanting you to say it's for security. They can't take all of your things unless you do your part. They can try to take your mind, but they can't take your heart. When they tell you what to think, mass hysteria and division amongst our ranks. What you don't realize, in the end we're all despised. One day, will we ever find our way? Or pain? Love your neighbor so we can take it back. They are wanting you to pay for their tyranny. They are wanting you to say it's for security. They can't take all of your things unless you do your part. They can try to take your mind, but they can't take your heart. When you know what's at stake, every day the future seems way more bleak. Freedom's in the mind. Take control while there's time. This day I will take more steps to free my mind. It is time to realize the lies. They are wanting you to pay for their tyranny. They are wanting you to say it's for security. They can't take all of your things unless you do your part. They can try to take your mind, but they can't take your heart.
That soundtrack.
Welcome back to the soundtrack, everybody. We got Archer in here now. We're going to hang out with the band. Introduce yourselves, brothers. Y'all are the second part of the band. Same band.
We're the oldest part of the band.
The oldest part of
I can relate to that. I can definitely relate to that.
Tyler,
old
I
guy.
play guitar, and that's
Cory. I play drums.
All right, Tyler, Cory, let's go. Drummer,
Yeah.
I know you got stories. Drummer stories are the best stories.
Been drumming for 33 years, so yeah, I got some stories.
Drummer stories are always great. Tell us about one thing I want to, before we get too deep, I want to ask about, it's funny with the punk artists because they're so outspoken. Did you ever have any political thoughts? Like when getting out of music and going into politics or going into some type of social awareness?
Fuck ICE and Free Luigi. That's where we are on the spectrum, I think.
It's good space to be.
Like being a political person.
Did you ever start going into activism? Let's put it that way.
Oh, 100% as far as like in the protest movement, really since the early 2010s. I've been extremely active personally. I don't know if that's really Cory's thing, but me and my wife particularly, we're always out in the street if we can be.
Okay, that's cool. Because I just noticed the two are intertwined, punk and socialism and activism is completely,
I think, to me, punk rock is kind of a community service. You have to give kids that don't have any other space a space to be in.
Do you think
that's important? To me.
Do you think that the powers that be really respect the kids these days? It doesn't seem like the powers that be run for office.
The amount of
on behalf of
intensity
kids
and angst that I see from the Zoomers, being like a 40-year-old person, it's really inspiring to me. Those kids are fired up and they're ready for the fight. Like they're here for it, and I love them for that. Like I'm not a boomer in that sense at all.
Okay,
I love these kids, man. They're out here.
Well, I feel like I've got an important question that I ask every punk rock guy that I meet. And it's, what are your thoughts on G.G. Allin?
That's a good question.
I know a little about him. I've never looked into it for all the obvious reasons.
Because I'm a huge fan.
That he has.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't know if
I'm gonna
that.
put it this way. I like his earlier stuff. I didn't care for the stage antics as much.
Yeah.
That's all I really know about him is the stuff that you hear about throwing stuff.
I've actually played shows with his brother. The Murder Junkies. I've played a couple shows with them before. But I don't know Gigi, so I never met him. But I mean, he did what he did, and he's a lot of people's idols. Me in particular. I mean, I never looked up to him.
Yeah, he was a very shocking character in the world of punk rock. And, I actually have talked to his brother, Merle Allin.
Yeah.
If you go on the G.G. Allin Facebook page and you message that page, that's actually Merle Allin, responding back to you. And what I've noticed with him is he does sell a lot of his brother's legacy on that Facebook page.
You don't say.
Yeah, and I, in fact, have a moment to go film Merle, I think this month, at the end of the month, with his band, the Murder Junkies. And if you don't know anything about G.G. Allin and the Murder Junkies, the Murder Junkies was the last backup band for G.G. Allin. And more than 9 times out of 10 that you were listening to the songs, they were kind of these sick, masochistic, shocking lyrics, sometimes even offensive, and his stage show was filled with feces and urine and beating up crowd members,
cutting himself,
and having sex with animals on stage and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah. So anyway, I always ask every punk rock guy what are their thoughts on G.G. Allin.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's my idol at all doing this stuff.
I feel like there's a lot of stage antics with a lack of a message. If you're doing that for attention to make a valid point, then I'm with you, but I don't know what the point is.
You know what?
If it's just shocking to be the sake of shocking, then I'm like, okay, you're Marilyn Manson or whatever, you're the next guy. I don't know.
I used to think that same
Alice
thing
Cooper's
about
been doing it since the 70s.
Iggy Pop. I always thought that Iggy
100%.
Pop had the antics, but the songs weren't worth a shit.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
me. Now,
there's
to me.
there's no content there.
Some of his later stuff started sounding better to me.
Because he started growing out of the antics. He just started.
Right.
There
he
were
started
great
growing up.
musicians associated with Iggy, for sure. Like Ron Ashton is a big influence of mine personally. But as far as a message to that music, there's really nothing behind it. As far as that, it's just kind of like it is what it is. I mean, kind of like the Ramones. We love the Ramones, but there's no real political nature or any sort of nuance to that other than it is what it is.
They made the best out of 3 chords.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's multiple bands that have done that.
I saw Johnny say in a documentary about the Ramones that he didn't really know how to play guitar, so they learned very basic stuff, and then they played it as fast as they could, and they kind of built on that. So he knew wearing the same thing and playing the same thing and having like a niche in the market was really what kind of sent that band from nobody to like, you know, one of the biggest bands in the world in the 70s. So it's kind of about the look.
What's your thing with what do you think these days in this current day and age? What do you think about the marketing of punk? Is it being marketed the right way? Is it being marketed not enough?
I think it just kind of I've learned over the years almost doing it yourself is better. Looking at dealing with promoters, dealing with labels or anything like that over the years as I've been playing. Some promoters ask weird, stupid things to you, and you're like, well, that's not part of the band.
Give me an example, something weird that a promoter would ask you.
To kick a member out of the band.
Really? They've asked
just
you to
play the venue.
100%. Yeah, that's a recent development. I don't think anybody's really
apology
from any position of power or marketing punk at all. I still think it's primarily a DIY genre of music. I think kids do it themselves, and it's kind of always been that way, and that's honestly what I love about it. I wouldn't want to do that on a bigger scale, to be honest with you. It kind of defeats the purpose.
We all do this for fun.
The grit and the struggle is the point, 100%.
Yeah, we do this for fun. We do this to put our music out there. Hopefully people enjoy it. I always tell people that when I feel the best about playing a show is when you're looking in the crowd, even though I'm not the singer or the lyric writer or anything like that. All over the years, the best feeling for me was when I saw the crowd singing my songs back to me.
The only spaces I felt comfortable in when I was a teenager, when I had like no real family or no real community, was at shows. So like we're trying to we're cultivating that ourselves. We're trying to make a space for people to come if they feel like they're outcasts in society or anywhere else. If they want to come and hang out, they're good where we are.
Okay.
Race, creed, color, sexual orientation, we could give a fuck, dude. If you show up and you're about it, you're one of us. That's
now,
the point.
Me and Archer are gear junkies.
Okay.
Archer's more of the stage gear, and I'm more of the studio gear junkies.
Okay.
I'm in everybody's catalog all the time, like Sears and Roebuck.
Okay.
You know, what? It doesn't seem like that punk has a major thing for fancy gear. Is that a mystique, or am I
think
wrong?
it's a blue-collar working-class thing, man. I think you get like an SG Standard, you get an 800 Marshall, a 900 Marshall, and a cab with greenbacks in it, and you just roll with it. It's the Bouncing Souls. It's like very simple, tried and true stuff.
Archer, am I wrong with that? Am I wrong by asking that question?
I see a lot of these guys sometimes, guitar straps, that might be made out of duct tape. I've seen that before. I've even seen chains, as like guitar straps.
I think Eddie Van Halen pioneered a lot of that stuff. It was whatever you could cobble together because you didn't have the money.
Right, like you said, white working class, like kind of like genre of music where, they're not going out there and playing like instruments that are like $1,000, or something like that. It's kind of like maybe like an Epiphone, like like a Les Paul kind of copy a little bit. I've seen that before. But I don't think it's really about the gear for punk rock. I think it's really more about the sound and the cool thrash and the vocals.
It's the message and conveying the way you feel. It's kind of like, it's a culture war situation, man. We're out here fighting for what we believe in. It doesn't matter what kind of gear you're using to do it.
I mean, as gear-wise...
It's nice to have nice gear, don't get me wrong.
It's nice to have it, but as gear goes, I mean, lately, a lot of shows you play now, you kind of hope with just traveling reasons, like maybe somebody will let you borrow their drum set, at least the shells.
Yeah.
Me personally, I've learned over the years, I've had, $10,000 drum sets, and I've had $1,500 drum sets, and they all sound the same if you can, afford decent heads and tune the right way and stuff like that. If you know how to do that.
I guess you guys are Murder on a Sound guy.
I don't mind a sound guy personally.
I don't think I've ever met a sound guy that didn't tell me to turn my guitar down. But other than that, yeah.
That's 33 years I've heard that. Hey,
Yeah,
can you turn
yeah.
the guitar down? But as far as drums wise, I don't care. I mean, as long as I can hear a little bit of myself and I can hear the guitar, I'm good. I've never been really mad at a sound guy.
Check on time.
Wow. Okay, because I was just I'm like, I know how sound guys, because most sound guys are disgruntled. So I can imagine doing sound for a punk band that's really into their set. I can imagine that's probably hell.
I really don't know because
Well,
I've
I'm
never
glad
done-
they're showing up and getting paid. Then that's their job.
I mean, I don't.
It's gonna be loud today, boys. I don't know.
I don't know the backing behind sound. I know actually a guy that's in a punk band, and he does sound on the side, and he does pretty well with it. So
Okay, that's cool. I guess everybody needs love.
yeah.
Speaking of love, what about the groupies? I've never.
Yeah, that's what I'm most interested in.
Yeah. Punk
Well, most of
groupies.
them are really young now, and we don't mess with them.
Yeah, we're the old heads in
We're
this
older
band.
guys, and
Where we're from, there's probably, I think it's like 3 or 4 generations of punk kids in this band. Steven being the youngest in his 20s, and Aaron's in his mid 30s. I'm 40, and Cory's
old as
almost 50.
yeah. I'm
So
47.
he was 10 years into the scene when I met him and joined a band with him in the early 2000s. I started a band in 2007, and then Aaron used to come to our shows when he was a teenager. He was 14, 15 years old.
Wow.
He used to open our shows in like 2008, 2009, and then we recently kind of put all this together. So it's guys that have been doing this for the better part of 40 years.
Yeah.
In the same scene, like it's always been
And
Columbia
I
punk
don't
scene.
think, I mean, me and him listen to punk, and they listen more than we do. But I have different tastes in music than just punk. So I listen to a lot of jazz and blues and stuff.
This guy would go play a jazz festival in a
Yeah.
heartbeat, make a whole bunch of money, because you can't make no money playing punk rock, bro. But you can
Yeah,
on
I
a jazz
guess.
festival weekend.
So there are no middle-aged housewives out there doing punk or listening to punk or at the show at least.
My wife doesn't listen to
I don't think so. Yeah, I think every
the
girl
only
I've ever
time-
been with, absolutely not.
Yeah,
No.
the only time she ever hears any punk rock or anything like that is sitting in the house and hearing us practice.
Listen to us play in the garage.
Yeah, that's the only time she's ever heard any punk rock.
And she likes it, huh?
I don't know if
She
you would
tolerates
say
it?
like, but she tolerates it and she supports me.
She's
So
very
that's-
patient.
That's good.
That's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
But
That's
she knows
good.
I love playing drums. That's about it.
I've got a general music question about Columbia. All right. So, here in Charleston, we're a tourist city. We've got a lot of places where people can actually go and see live music. And, with Columbia being like the state capital, home of the Gamecocks, Fort Jackson Military Army, base there, and other state government kind of buildings and jobs there. How many venues does people in general, not just punk rock, but are there a lot of venues or outlets for people to play as a band in Columbia?
Like I said before, we haven't a lot of DIY spots opening up lately. But right now, the 2 main places for bands to play is Art Bar or the new Brooklyn Tavern, or New Brooklyn Tavern.
There's some bigger like corporate venues in town, like the Senate.
Yeah,
But
you got
typically
the
local
Senate.
bands don't play.
Yeah,
Those are
local bands usually don't get
contracted
placed
through
in it.
labels and all that kind of stuff's booked like a year in
But
advance.
other places, it's been like, hey, this is a backyard, come play it. And
Yeah.
sometimes that happens, and
Yeah,
it turns out great.
We'd rather play a smaller place in general, because the kids that we know are more likely to show up and
Now,
can afford to get in.
You
to be
mentioned
honest.
Uncle Fester's.
Yeah, that's kind of a newer spot that just kind of popped up, but it's like a little bar type thing, like a stage and everything. There's also the
I know Uncle Fester's. That must be new to me. Yeah, definitely new to me.
Oh, it's been around for.
I don't spend a lot of time in Columbia, but
Well,
Yeah.
Steven gets to go a lot more places than I get to go.
Some of us has wives and kids and families we're dealing with, but Steven's in his 20s. He's out there, bro.
The
He's
only
doing his
outlet
thing.
I really have is playing music, and just keep on going. So, I
do
mean,
your kids think you're cool?
My kids love. Actually, it was funny you say that. My son is 16, and he asked me. I was in another band for a good part of 10 years. Last year was it for me with them. I don't know if they're going to keep on going or not, but I played with them for 10 years. My son at Christmas time came to me and says, "Hey, Dad, I want a Long Shot Oz hoodie," and that made me feel pretty good. There's people at my kids' school, their teachers know about my old band.
Wow.
And they know there's kids at my school that know about the new band, so our fairly new band that I've been playing a year and a half. But it seems like the younger generation, high school, almost to college, seem to like,
these kids get it, man. They fucking get it.
Like
I have
kind of style.
I have a daughter that's 15, and she had seen some of the old stuff that I played, and now that she's trying to figure out what she wants to do, I've gotten her a guitar and a bass, and I actually kind of refurbished the first amp that I got when I was in 5th grade back in the 90s. I refurbished the whole amp and let her have that as her first amp. So yeah, the kids are into it, man. Yeah. Anytime I can sit down and let her play bass and me play guitar or whatever and sit around with the kids, that's great. They'll remember that for the rest of their lives.
Well, Archer's trying to automatically train his nieces and nephews to be a second band.
If they want to do it, it's a thing. Like, my son was never interested, but my daughter absolutely was super into it. So it's just kind of
when we know you don't have kids, Archer, but we will speak up for your nieces and nephews.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to kids, man, my kids, like, they never said, "Hey, I got one that plays viola," but she's not like, "Hey, I want to play in a band" or anything. But she likes the music enough to play viola. But most of my kids have no interest in doing anything musical. I don't push them.
Personally, I had a guitar when I was a kid, and I never really learned to play it. And I went in the Army. I went to Iraq for a deployment, and then I came back out in 2007, and that's when I started the band that he was the drummer in, like 20 years ago. So that's kind of how I met Cory. Is I was trying to find some way therapeutically to work through like PTSD and all that stuff on my own, because there wasn't a lot of therapy or opportunity for people to do any of that at the time. So I just kind of figured it out on my own. I just wrote a bunch of songs about the war and political stuff and how, fucked up it was and still is. So all that stuff is still relevant today, actually. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
We're on the soundtrack, that Carolina soundtrack. Now listen, if you got a band, we are definitely, and you do whatever you're doing in South Carolina and you're performing, you definitely want to get with us so we can put you out there and tell everybody what you do, what you don't do, what you used to do, what you need to do, and what you ought to do. Okay, because we will do. That's one thing we do.
Do it.
We tell you to do it. Then we're going to tell you how to do it.
That's right.
Just do it.
Why you should do it. That's the way. It's that Carolina
Go ahead
soundtrack.
and do
I'm
it.
Sean Dolby. That is my big. What are they doing back there?
They're doing it, bro.
They're doing it.
They're doing it, bro.
I guess
they're doing the thing.
They just started another band.
We're just doing the thing. That's Lee Archer. Heather Rogers with us. Listen here. We got more for y'all coming up next week. And make sure, if you know somebody, you want them on the show, tag us. We'll get them out here. We'll get them on. God bless y'all. Good afternoon. Good Sunday. Keep rocking.
Thank you.
You're watching the soundtrack.